Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at 7 new motorcycles you should never finance in 2025. Number 7. BMW R18. The BMW R18 is a beautiful machine, classic cruiser lines, massive boxer engine, and a presence that could stop traffic at a green light. But financing one, that's where the story turns from dream ride to financial fumble. Let's start with the price tag. The R18 walks into showrooms wearing a sticker that says $17,000 before fees, taxes, and dealership markups. By the time you're signing papers and nodding nervously, you're probably staring at something closer to $20,000 out the door. Financing that over 5 years. Expect to wave goodbye to around $380 every month, not counting insurance, which for a bike this size and brand won't be friendly either. And here's the kicker. Depreciation hits the R18 like a freight train. Unlike Harleys that hold their value with a death grip, the R18's resale value drops faster than your excitement after the first payment. In 3 years, that shiny Bavarian cruiser could be worth $10,000 while you're still paying off the original loan with interest. Maintenance, it's German, which means precision, yes, but also pricey parts and labor. A simple service can run you $500 if you're lucky. So unless you like riding on a monthly payment plan that feels more like a car loan and watching your investment melt like snow in July, skip financing the BMW R18. Number 6. Kawasaki Eliminator. The Kawasaki Eliminator wants you to believe it's the slick, affordable cruiser for the new age. And sure, it looks sharp, it's lightweight, and the name sounds like it belongs in an action movie. But financing it, that's where this bike quietly eliminates your wallet. With a starting price of $6,999, it might seem like a budget-friendly option. But once you slap on dealer fees, setup charges, destination costs, and taxes, you're looking at something closer to $8,000 before you even twist the throttle. Finance that amount with a typical interest rate and you're kissing goodbye to around $160 to $170 a month, plus insurance, which isn't a joke just because the bike is. Now here's the silent killer. The Eliminator doesn't hold value like some bigger-name cruisers. You ride it off the lot and it's already shedding dollars faster than it sheds RPMs at highway speed. In 2 or 3 years, you could try selling it and find offers closer to $4,000, while you're still paying off the financing with added interest. Maintenance is cheap compared to premium bikes, sure, but the cost of regret, that's a longer ride. Once the novelty wears off and you're stuck making monthly payments on a lightweight cruiser you've outgrown by month 6, the fun starts to fade fast. So no, don't finance the Kawasaki Eliminator. It might seem like an easy entry into cruiser life, but the real cost sneaks up on you and never quite goes away. Number 5. Honda Shadow Phantom. The Honda Shadow Phantom sounds mysterious and cool, like it's going to glide through the streets, leaving only admiration in its wake. But what it actually leaves behind when financed is a steady stream of monthly payments and a dash of financial regret. Priced at around $8,399, it's not outrageous until you add in all the usual suspects: freight charges, setup fees, documentation costs, and taxes. Suddenly, you're hovering near $10,000 out the door. Finance that over 5 years and you're likely throwing $200 to $220 a month at a bike that hasn't changed much in a decade. The Shadow Phantom is reliable, no doubt, but it's also about as exciting as black coffee with no sugar. And that becomes painfully obvious by month 12 of your 60-month loan. Depreciation doesn't help either. In 3 years, when you realize you're ready for something with actual power or updated tech, that Phantom could be worth just $5,000 if that. And no, your loan balance won't have caught up yet. Honda's reputation for low maintenance is legit, but low maintenance doesn't mean zero cost. And when you're locked into monthly payments for a bike that stopped turning heads 5 minutes after you rode it off the lot, you'll wish you just paid cash, or better yet, waited for a used deal. So skip financing the Honda Shadow Phantom. It's not a bad bike, it's just not worth chaining yourself to for half a decade. Let it remain a shadow in the corner of the dealership, not on your credit report. Number 4. Suzuki Boulevard. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R looks like a beast, sounds like thunder, and rides like a freight train strapped to a rocket. It's muscular, bold, and makes a statement louder than a rock concert in a library. But financing it, that's where the muscle cramps start. Out of the gate, the M109R demands $15,699. That's before you've added tax, setup, destination, and all the little dealer extras that magically appear on paperwork. After everything's tallied, you're kissing $17,000 goodbye. Financing that over 5 years puts you on the hook for monthly payments in the $350 to $380 range, and that's not even counting full coverage insurance, which this bike absolutely requires. And this bike doesn't just eat pavement, it devours tires. That massive rear tire. Replacing it costs $300 to $400 easy, and it won't last nearly as long as you think. Add in gas mileage that's closer to a sports car than a cruiser and regular servicing on a performance-tuned V-twin, and suddenly you're not riding cheap, you're just riding loud. Depreciation. Let's say the resale market for the M109R is niche. Not every rider wants or can handle this brute, so selling it without losing thousands is a challenge. You'll still be paying off interest on a bike that's now worth $10,000 and wondering if you really needed that much torque. So no, don't finance the Suzuki Boulevard M109R. It's a lot of bike, yes, but it's also a lot of commitment. Number 3. Kawasaki Vulcan. The Kawasaki Vulcan S markets itself as the smart, sporty cruiser for the modern rider. It's approachable, smooth, and easy on the throttle. But once you choose to finance one, the only thing that'll feel smooth is how quickly your money disappears. With a base price of $7,349, it looks like a solid deal. But this is America, where no price tag survives contact with the dealership. After freight, tax, and processing fees, you're easily rolling out with a total close to $9,000. Finance that over 60 months and you're committing to $180 to $200 every month just to own a bike that still looks like it's trying to be a sport bike that forgot leg day. The Vulcan S leans heavily on its ErgoFit customization, which sounds cool until you realize it's a sneaky way to charge more for basic comfort. Need different handlebars, different seat. Congratulations, that's now your problem and your expense. On top of that, depreciation comes knocking faster than you'd like. After a couple of years, your $9,000 purchase will likely be worth $5,000, and that's if you've kept it in pristine shape. Maintenance is reasonable, sure, but insurance for new riders, the very people this bike is aimed at, often is. So don't finance the Kawasaki Vulcan S. It's the kind of bike you buy used, ride for a bit, then sell with no strings. Number 2. Indian Scout 60. The Indian Scout 60 wants to be your gateway into the cruiser world. Low seat, clean looks, just enough power to keep things interesting. But if you're thinking about financing one, you might want to hold off before that entry-level charm turns into long-term financial friction. With price starting around $11,000, it doesn't seem outrageous, but walk into any dealership and watch that price puff up like a souffle. Destination fee, setup cost. Document prep, before you know it, the out-the-door price creeps to $13,500, sometimes more. Finance that over 5 years and you're now making $260 to $280 payments every month on a bike that still calls itself 60. Depreciation is no joke either. The Scout 60 looks great, but it's not rare. 2 years down the road, you'll be lucky to get $7,000 to $8,000 for it, while your loan balance is still hanging around like a bad plot twist. Customization is part of the appeal, but also part of the cost. You'll want to change the pipes, maybe the seat, maybe add some bags. That's how Indian gets you modest base price, but a long accessory catalog whispering sweet, expensive nothings in your ear. So no, don't finance the Indian Scout 60. It might look like the perfect starter cruiser, but by the time you're done paying for it, you'll wish you'd just waited and paid cash, or better yet, picked one up used from someone who already learned this lesson. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster tries to reinvent Harley's image, sleeker, lighter, and aimed at a younger crowd. But when you finance one, it doesn't feel modern or edgy, it just feels expensive. It starts with a price tag of $12,000, which seems manageable. But dealerships love turning manageable into mildly horrifying. With taxes, destination charges, setup fees, and that classic Harley markup on everything from paint to keychains, you're easily walking out the door at $14,000 or more. Finance that for 5 years and you're dropping $270 to $300 a month, not counting insurance, which Harley never makes cheap. And while the Nightster tries to mix old school cool with new school tech, it's still not immune to depreciation. In 2 to 3 years, its resale value could sit around $8,000 to $9,000, especially once the novelty wears off or newer models come in looking sharper. But your loan, that'll still be lurking around $10,000 like a ghost of bad decisions past. Also, don't forget Harley's aftermarket upsell game. You will want to customize it, it begs for it. And every change from handlebars to exhaust ends up draining your wallet like it's attached to a siphon. Plus those recommended service intervals, they're priced like they're working on a Bentley. So no, don't finance the Harley-Davidson Nightster. It's not the worst way to spend money, but it is one of the most predictable traps. A stylish trap, sure, but still a trap. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.